thing, isn't it? Celebrity friendships, you know. Everybody thinks just because you're in the showbiz world that you are the best buddies. We've seen it so many times, have we not, over the years? You know, they've been in TV shows together and then they've spent season after season and then suddenly it falls apart. One writes a book and everything goes topsy-turvy. Now, what's interesting, as we often say here on the show, in the world of Meghan Markle is really she was always the outsider, never really A-list in any level at all, but of course wanted to be, tried her very best and did her utmost to become that. Then, of course, she hit pay dirt by marrying into the world's most famous family and, of course, becoming a duchess into the bargain. Walked down the then Princess of Wales down the aisle for her wedding. You couldn't get much bigger. Now, this could really be the problem for the former royal known as Meghan Markle, aka in some circles, the Duchess of Sussex. Let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. This story, as I say, is a fascinating insight, really, into the mechanics. This story is a fascinating insight, really, into the mechanics of how showbiz friendships work. You know, you're the besties forever, you love each other, you talk about it, and then, of course, never to be seen again. When you look at the disgraced chat show host Ellen DeGeneres, she had that mantra, didn't she? Be kind. It was the big thing, you know, be kind, everybody. And she was giving gifts out at the end of the show, huge checks. It was all about one big, warm, huggable daytime TV show. Behind the scenes, allegedly, a totally different scene. The same could be said, of course, for Meghan Markle's podcast, the ill-fated 12-episode thing for Spotify. Rumours circulated that she didn't come up with the format by a former employee. And then on top of all of that, not only was she not present in some of the interviews, but apparently even the questions were given to her by someone else. Of course, no response from La Markle, so you have to take this with one-sided stories. But one person that she should have formed a real close bond, friendship and bond with was none other than the reality TV star Paris Hilton. Now, I've known Paris Hilton since the early noughties when she popped onto the scene alongside her chum at the time. You remember her, of course, Nicole for The Simple Life. Paris came over to London to help promote an ill-fated single, and I believe there was an album to follow, but by that point, we'd absolutely lost interest. Now, Paris, you see, popped up on Meghan Markle's podcast. Not many people remember that. The only two they truly remember are Serena Williams and what was the other one? Yes, that exciting. Do you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line was this, that Paris did her best. She's a warm, intelligent, very sweet, likable girl. There's no two ways about it. Now, according to a very well-placed source, basically, Meghan missed out on yet another wonderful opportunity because they felt, even though that Paris very rarely got to speak on said podcast, it was naturally all about Meghan's time as a briefcase girl on the Deal or No Deal, etc. Well, they felt, though, by teaming up at that point, this could be beneficial for both sides. And the idea really was to go down some kind of audible route, podcast route. Step forward, of course, nobody ever bothered to get back, allegedly, to Paris Hilton. She felt that after the podcast, basically, that was it. They were done, they were through, never to be seen again. And according to that very well-placed source, that's why Paris decided to go it alone. She's now landed a mega deal, as one can see, and of course will be very successful, all thanks to X, otherwise known as Twitter, with Elon Musk. Mega deal. Now, it's strange, isn't it? Because obviously, if you pitch that out to the Montecito too, they would say they knew nothing about it, and of course, nothing to do with them, a different team at the time. But how many opportunities truly does Meghan Markle let slip through her fingers? Perhaps she felt as a real-life duchess, she didn't need a former reality TV star. But seemingly, Paris is sizzling, while Meghan is seething. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.